I don't think Bob Iger, frankly, is necessarily disagreeing with anything they're saying on The View. But I think Bob Iger and Dana Walden at this point would much prefer them to not say as much as they do on The View. It's about the American public. They can see the tide is moving. It is shifting away from this. And if it is true that their daily audience metrics have been declining steadily for the last, say 8-9 months, there's probably going to be some level of change that is going to come about during this hiatus. Renegade Online. The View announces a hiatus from Disney TV days after Trump predicts the show's cancellation, calls Joy Behar an irrelevant loser. Daytime TV's fiery progressive staple, The View, is hitting pause and going on a hiatus at a curiously charged moment. On the July 24th, 2025 episode, co-host Joy Behar, 82, revealed that with a sly glance off camera that the show is entering a hiatus after just one more broadcast. So tomorrow's Friday show probably might be a little lit because they're going to kind of have to backtrack and explain this. Before we go on hiatus, we have only one more show. I'm allowed to say that, right? We just played the clip. While ABC sources maintain this is the standard annual summer break, reruns starting July 28th, and a return post-Labor Day, the timing has conspiracy mills churning, especially following a blistering White House attack. Just a day prior, on July 23rd, the Trump administration fired off a statement via spokesperson Taylor Rogers, labeling Behar an, quote, irrelevant loser suffering from a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome. Rogers didn't mince words, predicting on behalf of the sitting president that The View could be, quote, the next to be pulled off the air, amid claims of all-time low ratings. This salvo came after Behar's on-air jab at Trump, accusing him of jealousy towards Barack Obama and spotlighting GOP fractures over the, quote, Epstein files. And that's in quotes here. I'm not saying they're, quote, they're real. Let's be clear about that. Conservatives on social media erupted with users speculating the hiatus is code for cancellation. One Facebook page even posted, "Make it permanent," as if echoing the president's sentiments. It's echoing a lot of sentiments out there of a lot of people. But the plot thickens with whispers from within Disney ABC's parent company. Back in May of 2025, reports surfaced that Bob Iger and ABC News boss Alman, whatever the hell, urged the hosts to dial back their anti-Trump rhetoric and political commentary overall. Sources claim that the panel, known for its progressive bite, wasn't receptive. Some outlets describe them as outright refusing to tone it down. Could this internal pushback have simmered into today's hiatus? Industry insiders speculate Disney might be eyeing pivot towards less polarizing content to woo a broader middle ground audience in a fragmented media era. The show's hosts have no shortage of headline-grabbing moments fueling such theories. They go back through some of these with Whoopi Goldberg, insisting that black people face conditions in the United States in 2025 as dire as people in Iran. I mean, it's just, oh, God. Then there's Sunny Hostin, who's just an idiot. Let's just go there. Sunny Hostin is a grumpy woman. A very grumpy woman. She's a nasty woman. I haven't used that phrase in a while. Remember that phrase, nasty woman? Other X theories are abounding. Is Disney caving to pressures, or are they simply chasing centrist viewers tired of partisan fireworks? In a media world where algorithms favor extremes, but networks crave stability, could this break signal the twilight for unapologetically biased entertainment? Here's the issue. And look, this may be a standard summer hiatus, resetting, going on break for August or whatever, and then coming back after Labor Day. I honestly don't know the media schedule of The View on a show like this. The timing is a little curious, though, isn't it? I mean, especially when you've got Paramount today talking about what they're doing over there at Skydance and how we're going to bring CBS back basically to the middle, to being an objective news source. Now, which, of course, things like The View are not news programs. They're 5 cranky women sitting around bitching about garbage. That's what it really boils down to. Bitching about Trump, whining about America, Whoopi Goldberg, whining about white people or whatever else she's doing. It's just a hot mess over there. What's also kind of weird is that if it was just something that was normal that they do every year, and I'm thinking out loud, why is Joy Behar saying, oh, wait, we can say that, right? Can we say that? Well, it's out now. If it was just a usual thing, why would she be acting like, oops, did I say that early? Tomorrow is their last planned show. I guess we'll find out more tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. I think the story's still got a little ways to go. More than likely, if this is a regularly scheduled hiatus, then that's all it is. But that's not to say that during this regularly scheduled hiatus for the year, this month they have off, don't think for one second that there aren't going to be conversations going on with other ABC executives and those higher up the food chain into the C-suite, all the way up to like a Dana Walden type. Because here's the thing. A lot of people have now put Josh D'Amaro in the driver's seat following the loss of Kamala Harris because Dana Walden is so tied to it. Tied to Kamala. Very tied to Kamala Harris, in fact. Very good friends. Dana Walden introduced Kamala and Doug Emhoff, right? They all kind of run around the same little California schwanky neighborhood where Iger lives. Here's the thing. Right now, I would speculate that Dana Walden, we don't know exactly where this race is for CEO. We can guess. We can speculate, like I said. Dana Walden doesn't want to give it up. She wants the job. I promise you, she wants the job. Dana Walden is probably looking at things like The View and all of the noise that they are creating, and they can see the entirety of the industry is shifting, whether they like it or not. And Dana Walden may be looking at this as, the more these crazy bitches on The View talk, the further away I get from Bob's office. Not that Dana Walden is disagreeing with anything that they're saying on The View. I don't think she is. I don't think Bob Iger, frankly, is necessarily disagreeing with anything they're saying on The View. But I think Bob Iger and Dana Walden at this point would much prefer them to not say as much as they do on The View, because it's not just about Trump. It's about the American public. They can see the tide is moving. It is shifting away from this. And if it is true that their daily audience metrics have been declining steadily for the last, say 8-9 months, what do you think? There's probably going to be some level of change that is going to come about during this hiatus. Again, whether it's regularly scheduled or not. There's probably going to be some conversations going on. Because Disney is looking at this. Think of all the times that Sunny Hostin this year has had legal departments, have to get in her IFB, get in her earpiece and tell her, retract what you just said, clarify what you just said, or apologize for what you just said. Because nobody's playing around anymore. You can't go out and say things and straight up lie on national television because you feel good about it. Let's see what happens. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.